At first I thought Tank was just going to beat him in like 5 or 6 rounds. I don't know. We have to see now. I got caught up with the hype.
Hopefully I can get that rematch because I know what I can do.
Left wondering, are we going to get a rematch with this? Which I wouldn't hate, but I don't know if there's like a big demand for it.
Boxing legend Mike Tyson advised Gervonta "Tank" Davis to rethink a rematch with Lamont Roach. While Tyson acknowledged Davis's skill in the ring, he emphasized the challenges Roach brings.
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog, there's no doubt about it. He showed that.
When asked about similarities between himself and Gervonta Davis, Mike Tyson jokingly replied that their only common ground might be their legal troubles. He downplayed comparisons, emphasizing that aside from their run-ins with the law, their fighting styles and careers are vastly different. His response highlights his view on the unique paths each boxer has taken.
Davis, a lot of people say he reminds you of them. Does he remind you of yourself?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no.
Gervonta Davis has addressed comparisons to Mike Tyson, acknowledging Tyson's legendary power and skill. However, Davis confidently stated that he has the whole package, suggesting a more well-rounded skill set. This assertion highlights his belief in his versatility and completeness as a fighter.
I don't really be trying. I like to hit the face.
What was Mike Tyson?
He was a brawler.
Brawl means more than one person. So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like.
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson? If it was a challenge.
Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel like though I have like the whole package.
Following the controversial draw against Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis expressed a strong desire for a rematch. He believes a second fight would give him the chance to showcase his true abilities, implying that the first bout didn't fully reflect his potential. Davis's determination highlights his commitment to proving his dominance in the lightweight division and setting the record straight.
Good night for the sport. Didn't get what the decision I want, but we didn't get a loss either, so I felt like I won it, the last couple rounds, so it's cool. Lamont is a great fighter. Hopefully I can get that rematch because I know what I can do in a fight, but it's cool.
Any questions?
Okay.
Critics speculate that Gervonta Davis may avoid a rematch with Lamont Roach, citing his history of not always pursuing tough fights. They point to the lack of a rematch with Ryan Garcia as evidence of his reluctance to take on difficult bouts. This perspective raises questions about Davis's willingness to face opponents who present significant challenges to his record and reputation.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta "Tank" Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again. He will not fight Lamont Roach again. He will not fight Tefimo. He will not fight, he will not fight those guys. That's just not who Tank is.
In a candid remark, Gervonta Davis suggested that Mike Tyson risks damaging his legacy by participating in exhibition matches against internet personalities like Jake Paul. Mike Tyson has praised Gervonta Davis's abilities, stating that with dedication and wise decisions, he has the potential to achieve legendary status. While acknowledging Davis's talent, Tyson also stresses the importance of smart choices both in and out of the ring. His mentorship-like advice highlights his recognition of Davis's potential and the challenges that could obstruct his rise.
I don't really be trying. I like to hit the face.
What was Mike Tyson?
He was a brawler.
Brawl means more than one person. So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like.
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel as though like I have like the whole package.
The recent bout between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis was a departure from Davis's usual fights, where he often secures knockouts. Roach showcased exceptional skill and resilience, pushing Davis through all 12 rounds and resulting in a controversial draw. This outcome highlighted Roach's abilities while raising questions about Davis's performance against top-tier opponents.
Was Lamont Roach robbed in this fight? What do y'all think? We're seeing a lot of the comments. People seem to think he was. He did outland Tank Davis. But was it by enough to get that decision? What do you think? Here's one of the punches he threw at Tank Davis right here. You can see the effect. Tank Davis did not look like normal Tank Davis tonight. You can see Lamont applying the pressure all night, especially around that 6th-round area where you usually see Tank Davis take off. I'll tell you what, it was one of the first fights I paid for that we got our money's worth. What an ending. You know, so a majority draw was the decision. But what do y'all think, guys? Do you think Lamont got cheated out of this decision? Or do you think the right call was a draw? It was a wild night. And then the knee, right? The knee was bizarre. Why did Gervonta Davis take a knee? That was strange to me. It came out of nowhere. He said it had something to do with something in his hair or whatnot. That was weird. Lamont thinks he won the fight. I think we're definitely going to get a rematch. But I want to ask the people out there, what do you think? Was Lamont robbed tonight? Let me know in the comments.
Fellow lightweight boxer Devin Haney shared his thoughts on the Roach-Davis fight, stating that he was well aware of Roach's skill and personally felt Roach deserved the win. Haney's perspective fuels the ongoing debate over the fight's outcome and highlights the respect Roach has earned among his peers.
And finally, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Gervonta Tank Davis situation. What was your assessment on his fight against Lamont Roach, and what are your thoughts on the knockdown that wasn't called in round 9?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good fight overall. Lamont, I always knew Lamont was, he wasn't coming to lay down. I've been knowing Lamont since we was kids, so we came up in amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would, and I thought he won the fight personally. Yeah, the no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own 2 eyes, and yeah.
The controversial Roach-Davis fight, marked by disputed decisions and an unexpected draw, has ignited widespread calls for a rematch. Fans, analysts, and fighters alike are eager for a definitive outcome, hoping a second bout will settle the debate over the superior boxer. The controversy has only amplified interest, making a potential rematch one of the most highly anticipated events in the boxing world.
Yo, fight fans, did you catch that Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach bout? Talk about controversy. The judges called it a draw. But let's be real, a lot of people think Roach got robbed. Both fighters brought their A-game, showing off some serious skills in the ring. Roach was on fire, landing clean shots and outworking Tank in several rounds. But Tank had his moments too, showcasing that explosive power we all know. But Tank going on one knee or being wobbled didn't swing it toward Roach. I don't know about that, but either way, now everyone's buzzing about an upcoming rematch. I mean, who wouldn't want to see these two go at it again? What's your take? Did Roach deserve the W, or was the draw fair? Drop your thoughts below and let's break down this fight.
Analyst Luke Thomas speculated that Gervonta Davis may be considering retirement after completing his remaining 3 contractual fights, possibly without a rematch against Lamont Roach. This insight suggests that Davis's career path may not align with public demand for a rematch, leaving fans uncertain about the chances of seeing a second showdown between the two fighters.
There is no call out. He doesn't do it. Now we're left wondering, are we going to get a rematch with this? Which I wouldn't hate, but I don't know if there's like a big demand for it. Tank has said prior to this night that like all of this is, he's got 3 fights left. This would have been one of them, so that would have been at least there were 2 more essentially this year if he can squeeze them in, he said. It was supposed to be against Tank and Shakur Stevenson. Where are we with that now? What does this do to that? I genuinely don't know how to answer that question. I really don't. I don't know what PBC is going to... Dude, PBC has had a bit of a rough run of it. I want to be very clear. I'm not trying to pile on their difficulties, but like they lost Canelo or whatever the fuck Canelo's doing. Then they still have Gervonta. He's still a big star. He's still... I'm sure this sold well. And again, it sold well at the gate. So that's still great. But they're hoping to like build off of this. They didn't get it. They were trying to get something going with Tim Tszyu. That bottomed out last year. They wanted to get Errol Spence going. That didn't work.
Doubt lingers over Gervonta Davis's commitment to a rematch with Lamont Roach, especially given the array of lucrative fight opportunities available to him. Critics argue that Davis must reaffirm his status by facing high-level opponents. Adding to the controversy, Davis claimed that hair gel affected his performance, a statement contradicted by his hairstylists, who confirmed his hair was styled the day before the fight.
So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to reach this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time previously. Now, my personal opinion is not as already risen. He is already more. The fact that he toe-to-toe decision and ended it with trouble. Whether he loses the second fight, so many people fight. Let's talk about something else, and that is the hairstyle situation. My opinion, I believe she should be right. As a hairstylist, there's nothing to say.
George Kambosos didn't mince words when discussing Gervonta Tank Davis's recent draw against Lamont Roach. He praised Roach for his exceptional performance, highlighting his skill and resilience. Kambosos was especially impressed by Roach's ability to surprise Davis, something few fighters have managed to do.
What did you make of that fight on the weekend? What did you make of the controversy in that one?
Look, I had just finished my recovery session, so I was pretty docile and relaxed, and then the fight, especially at the start of it, wasn't too thrilling and too action-packed, so I was starting to doze off a little bit, but I woke up a little bit more when obviously Lamont started giving him some work, and he looked good, man. I got to give respect to Lamont Roach. He proved a lot of guys wrong. I think he shocked Tank a lot with what he was able to bring, and again, we saw the controversy with the knee. To me, that's a knockdown. You can't just take a knee and decide to, go to your corner and get your face wiped. So, yeah, if that's a 10-8 round, Lamont wins the fight. So it's, unfortunate, but that's the fight game, Hopefully they'll do it again and he gets paid, what he's worth.
Have you ever seen anything like that in boxing before? A guy sort of just voluntarily...
We've seen Floyd take a knee and be put on the count. We've seen Miguel Cotto, take a knee, obviously to his corner, be put on the count.
Despite the controversy, Gervonta Tank Davis appears more focused and determined than ever. Reports indicate that he has reconsidered retirement and is now fully committed to a rematch with Lamont Roach. Fans and analysts have observed a shift in his attitude, as he seems more eager to step back into the ring and prove himself. Davis's decision to pursue a rematch marks a significant turning point in his career, signaling his intent to silence doubters and reaffirm his dominance.
Well, looks like Tank is not playing about this rematch, man. He's looking to probably get back in the ring with Roach by the end of May. And as far as that retirement stuff, looks like that's out the window as well.
Course of your plans for your future.
Yeah, it definitely changed my plans. It definitely changed my plans. I probably got like 4 more fights now. For sure.
But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. As much as, we hate the fact that he had a draw, I think this was the best thing for Tank. you could just kind of see, even in the press conferences and everything like that, he was kind of forcing himself to be interested. And I only know one person that can bring his interest back. Calvin is the key, man. Calvin has known Tank since he was a child. Nobody knows Tank more than Calvin. He's the only person that I believe that can bring the best out of Tank. But what do y'all think, man? What do you think Tank needs to do differently in his next fight so he can get back to doing stuff like this, man, at the end of his fights? Comment down below.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult made a bold prediction about the potential rematch, claiming that Lamont Roach would knock out Gervonta Davis in their second fight. He argued that Roach had already proven he could go the full distance with Davis, an accomplishment few fighters had achieved. This time, Showbiz believes Roach will be even better prepared and won't leave the outcome in the judges' hands. He also dismissed Davis's previous excuse about grease in his eyes, stating that there would be no such distractions in the rematch.
You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, don't you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey, bruh, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do. Because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy. But he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roy.
While some believe Lamont Roach has the upper hand, professional boxing analysts have outlined what Gervonta Tank Davis must do to win the rematch. Experts point to his lack of focus as a key factor in the first fight, with even Davis's coach admitting that concentration was the missing piece in his performance. If the rematch happens, Davis must remain fully engaged from start to finish. His natural power and skill are undeniable, but without strategic adjustments and sharper focus, he could face serious trouble against Roach once again.
So with the WBA set to order the Tank vs. Roach rematch next, who would I pick in the second fight? Well, the short answer is Tank. In rounds 4 to 6, when Tank was the one leading the dance, he was a lot more effective. You know, with the straight left hand, the body shot combinations, he wasn't just sitting up against the ropes like the first few rounds. He also kept landing the straight left hand, you know, sometimes doubling up on that left hand. Roach would have an issue with the timing. He would then mix up the combinations to the body and then up top with the hook to the head. I thought Tank was going to swing the momentum in these 3 rounds, but then he started waiting again in the second half of the fight. And if Tank wants to make the rematch a high-paced war on the inside, he's going to get the better of Roach. You know, left hook up top, you know, good head movement, uppercut to the body. Again, left hand there by Tank, another left hand right hook. I thought he was doing a lot better when exchanging. I mean, the issue with Tank, and not just this fight, but in general, is he always takes the first few rounds off. You know, he puts himself into a hole, relies on the big shot landing to win him the fight. So the rematch, if he can impose himself on the front foot early, you know, land the power shots, especially the left hands and the body shots, I think he can slowly wear Roach down and potentially find a stoppage.
Interestingly, before facing Lamont Roach in a rematch, Gervonta Tank Davis is reportedly planning to fight another opponent first. This decision has sparked debate among fans and analysts. Some believe he wants to rebuild his confidence before taking on Roach again, while others see it as a strategic move to delay a challenging rematch.
Good fight. He had a cut, you know, busted lip. Rest in peace to Rafael Garcia. Did a great job with that cut. People say, oh, look, Floyd got a busted lip. He lost to Maidana. Rematch beat him even easier. So hopefully Tank does rematch Lamont Roach and we get that. He said that he might fight someone else before that, but hopefully we get at some point a Lamont Roach fight in the near future. You know what I mean? But you guys have to learn how to score a fight. People, and it's always people, because there's nothing like big league, big star boxing. It's just different. UFC, all that stuff is different. There's nothing that can compare to big boxing and big boxing events, period, on that bright stage. So everybody, you start seeing the influx of people who opine on boxing.
Even after the fight, tensions between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach remain high. The two fighters have taken their rivalry to social media, exchanging heated words over the rematch and the outcome of their first bout. Roach insists he deserved the win, while Davis continues to defend his performance.
Bam, he's like, forget that, let me take a knee. that's a knockdown. But either way, it looked like they may have an immediate rematch. Roach and Gervonta Tank Davis goes back and forth on X, and here's what they say. Which it seems to me that, okay, if the New York State Athletic Commission overturns the result of the fight, then yeah, it's an immediate rematch anyway. Like Lamont Roach said, you know, he has it in the contract. But if it remains a draw, it looks like Tank's still going to push for the rematch. And I'm hearing that, you know, the fight that they were going to have, which would delay this rematch, was a fight with Pitbull. You could argue that a rematch with Lamont Roach would be far better than a rematch with Pitbull. But let me know how you feel in the comments below. Showbiz adult.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned and see you next time.